Hi, I'm Zach Stevens, and today I'm going to show you how to do some maneuvers with poi. Poi are basically just the ball on the end of a string. There are all kinds of poi. Today we're going to make sock poi with some things you probably have in your own house. Let's start out by finding some good socks to use. We want them to be kind of long. These will work. Now that I have my socks, I'm going to need something to put in them so that they have some weight on the ends. You could use a tennis ball or maybe even another set of wadded up socks. I have some fruit in the kitchen and I have a couple oranges, so I'm going to use those. I'm going to go ahead and drop them into the socks. And that's it. Now I have my poi that I can spin around. Now I'm going to need to go someplace where I have some room so I can work on my maneuvers. I'm going to go outside. All right, now that we have our socks with weights in the end, these are our poi. I'm going to take one in each hand, and we have lots of space to spin them. I'm going to show you how to do a move called the weave. It looks like this. Here's what it looks like from the side. All right, to be able to do the weave, we're going to start just by getting comfortable with spinning our poi. So spin them at your sides like this. Once you're comfortable spinning them at your sides together, see if you can spin them by your sides in a split time. That looks like this. Here's what that looks like from the side. Once you've done that number of times and you're comfortable spinning them at your side together and in split time, try spinning them together, but then doing a crisscross like this. Notice how one hand tends to always be on top during the crisscross. In this case, it's my right hand is over my left hand. If you're able to do that, try doing it so that your other hand is on top when you do the crisscross, so that my right hand will go over my left hand. Right hand on top, left hand on top. Right hand on top, left hand on top. If you're able to do that, try going back to the split time by your sides. That's like this. But now try that crisscross in the split time pattern. That'll look like this. Notice how just like the crisscross, one hand is on top. My right hand goes over my left hand in a split time pattern. See if you can get the other hand to go on top. Here's what that looks like from the side. Work on alternating which hand is on top when you do the crossover. Right hand on top, left hand on top. Right hand on top, left hand on top. If you're able to do that, switch which hand is on top. Each time you go from side to side, then that becomes the weave. The weave can be a bit tricky to learn, but there's some other things we can do to help us get the hang of it. One thing we can do is practice with each hand individually. Take one poi and just hold it, and hold your arm out, and with the other poi, we're going to swing it by our side, and we're going to try to swing it over our other arm, like this. Once we get the hang of that, we're going to try to swing it by going underneath that arm, like this. Once we practice and we're able to go over the arm and underneath the arm, then we're going to try to go from over the arm to underneath the arm and back, like this. Over, under, back. Over, under, back. Over, under, back. Over, under, back. If you get the hang of that with one arm, try it with the other arm. Over, over, under, over, under, back, over, under, back, over, under, back. This is what each hand is doing when we do the weave. So once you're able to do it with each hand individually, you can try putting it together to make the weave. Again, that looks like this. You can see that each hand is going over, under, and back, while they're doing it together in this split time pattern. Another way to learn the weave is by doing it horizontally. Sometimes it's called the corkscrew, and it looks like this. But it's the same thing, just over the head. To do this, you just start with one hand and follow it with the other hand as you go over your head and back down. For some people, this comes naturally, and this can help you learn how to do it in the wall plane like this. If you're having trouble getting the weave today, that's okay. Put down your poi, rest, and come try again later. You'd be surprised about how easily it'll come once you give yourself time to rest. If you still want to practice poi, there's all kinds of other moves we can do. Here's one called the butterfly. This can be learned in a similar way to the weave. We can start with our poi by our sides like this, and go into that alternate timing spin like this. We could then start to aim the poi at each other like this until they're crossing over each other like this. And then we can get them into a same time like this. Let me show you what that looks like from the side. Once you get good at it, you can just go right into it. I'd like to give you a look from down at my hands for the weave and the butterfly to help you out. Here's what the weave looks like when you're looking down at it. And here's what the butterfly looks like. Another thing we can do with poi is learn to turn from one direction to the other. When I'm spinning them together by my sides, I can bring them in front of me and then spin them by my sides going towards me. I can do the same thing to go the other way. When I'm spinning this direction, they come down, then come towards me. When I want to spin the other direction, they go up in the air and then come down. If you keep on practicing and become comfortable with poi, you can start to figure out the ways that the moves go together. The weave that looks like this can also be done in reverse. Once you become comfortable with it, you can change from doing it this way to doing it this way. Same thing with the butterfly. Looks like this, can also be done like this. The turns can be chained together. And with practice, you'll start to learn how to make a continual motion out of it. Just make sure to keep practicing and have fun.